So implementing this national level crypto payment system, it's a small country, sure, it's a small start, but tell me the vision behind this. Is Bhutan a test bed for what you're going to do in many other countries around the world?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's another key milestone. I mean, this initiative represents another key milestone in terms of crypto adoption and deployment globally. What it does is, travelers and tourists going forward can make use of a very seamless, very cost-efficient way of paying locally, everything from things like flights, accommodations, meals, even your local tour guides, and when you're buying from local merchants in Bhutan, right? So it's another big initiative by Kingdom of Bhutan. It's powered by Binance Pay, and we work locally with the DK Bank to bring this about.
When people are trying to understand what Bitcoin is and what it stands for, there is, there are so many camps out there. It's a store of value, it's a currency, it's an inflationary hedge or whatever. What premise are you basing this initiative on right now?
Oh, just on Binance Pay. I think it is more a mode of payment, right? So if you think about it, it's a cashless system that allows you to make use of more than 100 different types of cryptocurrencies. You travel there. It's a much smarter, much safer way of traveling, and it's much more cost efficient compared to traditional methods of paying. So we introduced Binance Pay about 2 years back. We have done more than 27 billion in terms of volume, and it results in substantial cost savings for families around the world when they do domestic as well as cross-border payments.
Do you feel like, because people are calling this regulatory arbitrage, right? Do you feel like the regulatory divergence in many different parts of the world is closing a bit in any way, or is it more of the same now than compared to a few years ago?
So we are moving from a period of time where there's huge regulatory uncertainty, right? So if you compare to the state about 7 years back where I just got involved in the crypto, today is so much better. 7 years ago, only 1%. The regulators are ignoring this space. The institutions are saying that it's a passing fad. It will go away. But crypto has proven it's here to stay, and now the institutions are allocating into this space. The regulators are starting to take this seriously. But even today, only 1/3 of regulators are regulating this space, right? So that we are moving from a period of regulatory uncertainty to a period where there's going to be much greater regulatory clarity. But with that, unfortunately, you're not going to see harmonization of standards, right? So there's going to be quite a fair bit of fragmentation. Different countries are going to regulate it very, very differently. Some treat it as a security, some commodities. In Singapore, it's a digital payment token. Some countries have designated it as a different asset class altogether, as a virtual asset or digital assets. But that diversion will continue, in my view.
And you're joining us on a very big market day, given what happened with the U.S. and China tariff discussions and so on. And I was just watching Bitcoin. I mean, just at around 3 p.m. our time when the announcement came through, Bitcoin shot up through 105,000 handle, and now it is coming off a little bit. Many are talking about how gold got bid and Bitcoin got bid over the last 4 weeks or so is really the breakdown of U.S. assets and really trying to park their money outside of a traditional financial system. Are we overreading into this? Do you think that Bitcoin is just doing what it's meant to be doing in this at this point in cycle?
Well, if you look at it, since Liberation Day in the U.S., Bitcoin has gone up about 28%, gold about 3%, and S&P and Nasdaq has been relatively down or flat until yesterday, right? So if you look at it, it's the best performing asset class in a period of key uncertainty. But if you consider it, the key drivers, the momentum are extremely strong, right? So I just give you some figures. We started 2024 with 170 million customers on our platform. We ended the year with 240 million customers. Today we stand north of 270 million. So the users are very enthusiastic. They're coming through. We see a lot of institutions onboarding with us. So the momentum is very strong. So the drivers are there, right? Short term, there's always volatility. But if you look at last year and this year, to date, Bitcoin has been the best performing asset class. And it's the only currency that is borderless, it operates 24/7, is unbiased, it's not subject to tariffs. So I think there's a good use case for Bitcoin.
And really quickly, Richard, I wonder what is going to be the next catalyst. I know that President Trump came out. I mean, he's just really surrounding himself with a lot of crypto enthusiasts. We got the ETF. We got the strategic reserve, which many didn't really see coming. What's next? Because we had a guest on earlier this week, actually, talking about the importance of staking, perhaps, for the crypto ecosystem. Do you see anything else for the crypto industry going forward?
I think for the crypto industry to continue to grow through different cycles, we have to continue to focus on use cases and utility, right? So payment is one big area, stablecoin is another big area, and we continue to have to build all those important use cases. As you see all those use cases coming through and more people jumping on the bandwagon, now all the different banks are trying to issue their own stable coins. And for the longest time, they have stayed away. But they have realized that it's a much more efficient way for cross-border transfer instead of relying on a very archaic infrastructure today. If you do a fund transfer, it takes 2 to 3 days to reach the recipient at very high cost, right? But if you do it by crypto, it's instantaneous at a fraction of the cost. So a friend was just telling me the domestic helper requested to be paid in stablecoin to be remitted back to the family because it's so cost efficient compared to traditional methods, right? That's a good use case, right?
Yeah, makes sense.